Usually at the Passion for Speed Festival, all the action takes place on the black stuff, but courtesy of Nashua and Captain Andrew Blackwood Murray, we got a little bit of aerobatic display as well, some aerial material to entertain the big crowd that were here at Zwartkops for the 23rd running of the Passion for Speed Festival. A couple more legends in pit lane there, Ben Morgan and Willie Hepburns next to each other, usually fighting hard on the black stuff and about to see a big battle amongst the historic GP Association single-seaters. We've missed these guys and girls because for the last couple of seasons, due to lockdown, we weren't able to get any of the single-seaters out to South Africa. But this year, they are here in full force and have brought a couple of magnificent vehicles that will be on display, including the John Love car.
Well, it's a great honor to be able to drive this car here, and it's really had a phenomenal amount of attention by local enthusiasts, which is wonderful to see. Driving it, the car drove beautifully, except for the fact that the engine hasn't been tuned properly for the carburetors, haven't been tuned properly for this altitude, and so there's a bit of a gap in power delivery, which means I have to try all that much harder under braking and in cornering.
And that literally is one of about 15 cars that are coming to the grid that have got such great history and heritage behind them. We're about to see them go to battle. And the cool thing about this class, particularly when they've come all the way from the UK, is they're here to race. They're not here to play around. Yes, there will be a little bit of extra room given here and there, but they certainly do not hold back in terms of giving exactly what the crowd expect to see, these cars in full flight. And that's exactly how it starts, with Rudy Fredericks leading things out as they go into turn 2. Good start. They're coming out of Mark Shaw. Watch out for Charlie Martin coming through as well. 36 a little bit further back in the pack there is Eric Stays. He's looking good too. One car to watch out for as well is the 27 car there of Christian Dumoulin. That is a Maserati 250. Absolutely epic car to have on the circuit. But this is the one that all the South Africans and, of course, Southern Africans are loving. Seeing it back on circuit here at Zwartkops, that John Love Cooper is definitely a firm favourite amongst the crowd that are sitting here and enjoying the spectacle that our GP Association drivers are putting on. As I said, most of them coming from the UK, a couple from Europe as well, all part and parcel of a championship that runs out of Europe and the UK. But they come on their South African safari every year, bar the last couple, of course, because it's due to lockdown. But it is, as I said, fantastic to have this big field back again and entertaining us like they do. Full cars spread out pretty evenly at this stage, so not really too much of an issue. But Michael Gann's definitely enjoying himself at this point in time, trying to close things down ever so slightly there on Mark Shaw. Shaw just keeping the door shut on occasion, but he can't quite make up the ground that Rudy Fredericks and Charlie Martin have pulled on him. So I think the race basically will pretty much stay the same as it is there with those first four. Further back in the pack, couple little fights as well between Buurhofer and Richard Smeaton, who's of course a long-time standing competitor in this category in his 58 machine. Steve Hart in the 28 car, also with some South African heritage. But let's catch up now with the association chairman, Eddie Perk.
I purchased it in 2001, and we rebuilt the car completely, rebuilt the new engine, built it to specification as it won in 1961. I've raced it successfully, semi-successfully, since that time, and we're very, very lucky to race on with the HGPCA on many of the Grand Prix circuits. Belong to the historic Grand Prix Association, who race a grid of cars, anything prior to 1966, but they've got to have Grand Prix history.
Always fantastic to have Eddie and his entire team here, but coming to take the victory on the first race of the weekend, the 5-3 car there of Charlie Martin. Well, he wasn't troubled too much. Checkered flag comes out for him. He's happy with that. Second place will be Rudy Fredericks. Mark Shaw will hang on for third place. And it looks like it's going to be the 17 car there in fourth of Michael Gans. So the John Love people will be happy with that as he comes through there in fourth place. Philip Buurhofer finishes up in fifth ahead of Richard Smeaton, Stevie Hart and Ben Mears. And Jeff Underwood beats out Eddie Perk for the top 10. Arguably one of the most beautiful cars out on circuit was the 250 Maserati, and Christian Dumoulin was the driver.
Well, my Maserati is a very old car. It's a Formula One of the first ones, driven by Sterling Moss, drove also in Monaco, and it's a 58 Maserati 250F. There are only 21 built, and I'm the only one who was still racing with the car.
definitely a family affair at the 23rd Passion for Speed and any Passion for Speed festival at Zwartkops. It's a great food and great time to spend with your friends and enjoy all the race action that's out on circuit. And arguably, one of the most famous ones on the day comes from the legends of the 9 Hour. This is the big bangers. This is the one that counts, and this is the one that everybody comes out particularly to see. The spectacle gets thrown when you've got these huge blocks of flats about to go to battle. The Ford Galaxies, Ford Fairlanes, Chevys in the mix. We've got a couple of Plymouth Furies out there as well. Oh, it is just a field of note, and it's definitely going to be an epic one again with Ben Morgenroot on pole position alongside Lee Thompson. It is the Mustang versus the Galaxy, and the Mercury Cougar coming through there of Siegfried Jr. starting to put the pressure right from the word go. Great to have that Lafayette Galaxy there as well of Michael Campagna. We haven't really mentioned him all through the show, but yes, the Dutchman was back in the house and certainly loving life in amongst his fellow competitors and fellow Netherlands-based drivers as well. One of them being Frans van Em, who's certainly a big contender.
Is perfect. We're enjoying here the track, we're enjoying the hospitality from the South African people. And yes, with the car there were some small issues what have to be done, and I hope they're now fixed. But altogether we have a wonderful period here. And as I just told you before, it's not our first time to be here. And it is a wonderful pleasure, the hospitality from the people, the friendship you meet here, and the joy we have all together. We're in a nice hotel and things like that. So the racing is not the hottest item in our group, but it is an important item. Wherefore we go here, and we also go to Cape Town, to the Kilami, and then we also join it, and then it will be over. But anyway, for us, it's a big, great, nice adventure.
And right on cue, the adventure heads into turn 4. Thanks for that, Frans van Em. It's Ben Morgan who leading things out, but look at that. Mick Pastorelli sneaking through there, and has he got through? Yes, he has. The Pablo Clark Galaxy side by side there with Ben Morgenroot as they head up towards turn 5. So the big block of flats hits the front for the first time. It's Morgenroot into second place. Henny G's right on his tail. Then Lee Thompson brings that second block along. That's the second one, the big Trans-Africa Racing Ford Galaxy. And on his tail, it's the Mercury Cougar of Siegfried Jr. What a field of drivers and what a field of cars. Problem for Henny G, though. Oh, that's such a pity. He's parked on the sideline and out of this one. And looks like at the top of the hill, also some problems for that looked like Paige Lindenberg, who got out of shape. No worries at all here for this man, though. Pastorelli getting away from the field and leading to the line and taking the checkered flag ahead of Ben Morgenroot. And in the official results, it looks like Ben Morgenroot has been demoted to third, Dutoy up to second for an infringement. Lee Thompson in fourth beats out Jonathan Dutoy. Ferrari comes through there in sixth, beating out De Waart, Campagna, Ollie Broom, and Dirk Venter, making up the top 10. Let's find out from Henny G what went wrong on his car.
It was interesting. It was a bit of a battle and we were having lots of fun. Unfortunately, it was short-lived. We had a prop shaft that broke on the car. But yeah, up until that point, it was really an interesting dance between a few of us. It was lots of good, clean fun, and unfortunately, we didn't finish due to the mechanical, but yeah, enjoyed it.
Let's catch up now with race 1 winner, Nicky Pastorelli.
It was an intense beginning of the race. The first 2, 3, 4 laps, everybody was close together, there was some touching. But then at one point I was able to overtake 2 cars at the same time, create a little gap, and then just manage it from there.
Getting ready now for race number 2 of the Legend of the 9 Hour. A couple of battle scars on those cars. As you can see, I wonder whose tires that might be. We'll wait and see for some more of that action coming pretty shortly. Pastorelli looking for 2 out of 2. Paige Lindenberg will definitely looking to finish up the second race a little bit higher up. As we get ready to go now, it is lights out and racing. And down towards turn 1, Pastorelli leads out Ben Morgenroot, diving on the inside and looking for a way to go into turn 1. Oh, and he's come together there. Ben Morgenroot has come together, looks like with Pastorelli into turn number 1 and into the kitty litter. Yes, there you go. Pablo Clark, Pastorelli, Ford Galaxy on the inside of turn 1, and joining him is Ben Morgenroot. Now remember, it's double yellows into turn 1. So Ben Morgenroot could be in a bit of trouble there. He was into turn 1 and overtaking. They're supposed to be line astern until they come out of turn 3. It's now Mark Dutoy who leads out on the restart with Lee Thompson right on his tail, and then it's the Mercury Cougar of Siegfried Jr. The Chevy Nova's up to 4th place with Jonathan Dutoy. Then it is Campagna behind him, De Waart. And then Paige Lindenberg trying to close down on that Camaro. Inside line from Lee Thompson, just squeezing out the fair lane. And can Mark du Toit keep him out? Yes, he can. Round the outside. Mark du Toit just with a slightly better line. And oh, what a great line from Sief Fourie. Sief Fourie Jr. sneaking on the inside, trying to get through turn 4 side by side with Lee Thompson. Oh, that could have ended up in tears. Two big cars through turn 4. That's a very fast part of the circuit. A very fast corner as well. And it looks like we might have lost that Mercury Cougar. Yes, we have. He's dropped to the back with a little bit of issues there. And Fourie Jr. now not in contention at all. That's moved Jonathan du Toit up to 3rd place. And up to 4th, Michiel Campagna.
I don't know how many times we come already over to South Africa, but we always enjoy it here. Especially in Europe, it's quite cold, so we enjoy the weather and the racing. It was not so good. I was yesterday. I broke the gearbox so a little bit, so we fixed it. So I only did 2 laps in the practice, so I need to start from behind. And then in the first 3 laps, I stayed a little bit too long behind somebody, and I couldn't come to the, let's say, the first 5 anymore. So I ended something 7 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah, Frans van Em, let me tell you something, was fantastic in the Plymouth Fury. But take nothing away from what Michiel Campagna just told you. He didn't just break the gearbox, he ripped the gear shifter, a Hirsch shifter, off the car. So if that Lafayette car is not a Hulk green car by next year, I don't know what. Because we've got a Dutchman has a Hulk power in the car. Nothing to beat Mark du Toit though in the second heat. Lee Thompson tried hard, he came through for 2nd. And Jonathan du Toit eventually finished up in 3rd place with Michiel Campagna behind him. Sief Fourie in 5 ahead of Roland de Waart. Paige Lindenberg won out ZB's, beating Dirk Venter, Frans van Em, and Henk Hiers in the top 10. Let's catch up now with Mark du Toit, your race 2 winner after a fantastic day in the saddle.
We had a really great day actually. So we ran a lot of our cars and they're all in one piece at the end of the day. So that's always a plus. And I mean, I had some really great races. We won the Tourist Trophy race and the GT40. And then also I had a fantastic drive in the fair lane in the Legend V8 race. So very chuffed with the day.